Like Nigeria, when people scream, oh, we're losing our culture, my question is always, what is it? No, what are we losing? Just tell them, okay, what are we losing? What it comes down to is people having freedom to make their own choices. That's what annoys them.
That's what they call losing culture.
Yes.
Culture is actually not getting trapped into the traditional ways, but culture is the way of the people. So I feel very great that I'm going to meet Ebby. She's a Nigerian woman who is very open-minded, who is very, very full of wisdom. I think the best thing is that she loves to give it out. I just want us to discuss about culture and compare about the culture and the modernity currently and the power that women possess that they don't know. And she lives in the most posh places in Dubai, the Palm Jumeirah. Yeah, that's the place.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, these are so amazing.
Cheers. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Like when I'm with you, I feel a lot of life.
Oh,
I
thank
feel like
you.
there's more to life.
Oh, thank you so much. See, I think I actually feel like, especially with Black women, I feel we do not have a support system among ourselves. We do not have a sisterhood. We like to say that. We like to say, our sister. But in action, in reality, in practical, we actually, what's more common is competition, not sisterhood. What I have noticed that is more common is competition, not sisterhood. So it's very easy to say, oh, that's my sister. And I always say words are cheap now. Everyone can say them. But you need to walk the talk.
Do you think it was like that way?
I think it's always been like this. I actually think it's as sad as this is, I actually think this, with every generation, it gets better.
Is it getting better?
Imagine, so see where you can imagine where you think we're coming from.
I swear. I thought it's not better.
No, this is better.
I thought like way back, let's say like 10 years, I think I was only 20.
Yeah.
But I think it was better.
No, you didn't know. No, you didn't know. And also, you didn't know. I think what happens is you either didn't know or you've not become aware. You've not been confronted with it. You've not gotten to that stage in your life where you start to notice those things. It's like now you try to have this conversation with a teenager. It's not interesting. It's other things that are bothering them now. Then give them 20 years, you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Then you're like, it's always been like this, baby. Welcome to adulthood.
I feel like way back, women used to have a support system.
No, there's never, especially within, I actually think our foundation is very flawed. Africans. Flawed. It's really, a lot of the foundation is really messed up. Because we like to talk about culture. Even when you have a conversation like, I'm from Nigeria, and every time people will say, oh, we have culture. And then, okay, let's stop shouting. Let's talk. What culture do we have?
I'm from Uganda.
What cultures do you have?
Well,
that you consider culture, that like when I hear Africans say we have culture, what are you saying exactly? Because we have culture. Culture is a way of life of a people. Is it a life we're living that is a culture?
Actually, when you ask me, I don't even know that.
Exactly.
But they'll be like, we have lost culture.
But my thing is, which culture did we have before that we lost? Think about it.
You know that ladies wearing clothes.
Also, the problem they have with the culture is women not tying wrapper anymore. Women becoming educated, making their own money. That is the problem they have with the culture. The man slapping you, and because in the olden days, in our grandmother's time, if you have issues with your husband, you will go, they will settle it, family will settle it. So now younger educated women are saying there's nothing to settle. I don't want this anymore. That is the culture we've lost because a group of people in Africa decide they don't want to be abused anymore. So we've lost the culture because you cannot subjugate people. You subjugated their grandmothers. These are the things. Which culture did we lose? We didn't lose any culture. Well, the reason we are having issues is because people are breaking away from bondage. If we go by the definition we got when we try to go to school, right? They say culture is a way of life of a people. And if you go by that, because nothing on earth is fixed, there's no human practice that is fixed. That is why there was a time slavery was legal.
Slavery was real.
It was legal, right? Then many years later, everybody's realizing, no, we shouldn't have treated other humans like that. This is wrong. So as humans, our ideas change, our values change all the time.
Yeah.
So when you are shouting culture, oh, we're losing our culture, exactly what are we losing? Because this is the thing, because the only time I hear Africans, I try not to do Africa. I try not to, when I speak, I try not to speak for Africa. I try not to long it.
Yeah.
So I always try to speak for Nigeria, where I come from, right? And if any other African person can relate, then they can take it in. Like,
it's always almost the same.
Exactly, like Nigeria, when people scream, oh, we're losing our culture, my question is always, what are we losing? Just tell them, okay, what are we losing? What it comes down to is people having freedom to make their own choices. That's what annoys them.
That's what they call losing culture.
Yes. Because I have never seen, because we are losing culture. Ask them, what are we losing? It's when women are not being submissive, they scream. When children refuse to become zombies, they scream. When kids speak back, they say, oh, we've lost our culture. You are saying your child has no right to say, talk back. If not, you slap, because my father slapped me. Are we not supposed to be better than our parents? Is that not the whole idea about life? That your parents say, you should be better than me. And you hope when you have kids, they will be better than you. So I don't understand why you will see people today say, oh, my grandfather back then used to do this. Like, what your grandfather did was wrong. And they get upset.
And you don't have to do
You don't have to do it.
Now that you know the truth.
But they don't want to.
That's why you know better when you know better.
But we know better. A lot of people, what I see in this modern, that's why when you say, oh, it was better, I say, no, unfortunately, this is the better. This thing that we are all complaining about is even the better. The biggest problem for us is these people are educated. So you want to believe they should know better.
Yes.
But it goes back to the same thing we talked about, conditioning, how you were raised. So you have been raised in particular about your life. You're now in your late 20s or in your 30s. Now you know better on paper. Practicing it is where the struggle is. Because for you to do better, you need to be a better human being. How many people aspire to be better human beings? They don't. People don't aspire to be better people. People aspire to be richer, to be what? And to be richer, you need to step on people's heads. To be this, because Africa is a crab in a barrel thing. 100 people rushing for one wealth. So you need to backstab and kill each other to get there. See our politics. The whole of Africa. See the politics. You know the funny thing? Is this our culture? These are the questions I ask. Is this our culture?
No.
Okay.
It's
You
what
have,
we've been conditioned.
but who conditioned us?
Way back.
Okay. So all these years nobody could unlearn.
Well, some people have, I think they've been stuck in the past.
But this is the problem. This is why when somebody says, why are you living for other people? It's so easy to say. The whole society you were raised in is to live for other people. Let me give you a personal story. I've always been very inquisitive. I ask questions.
Very.
I want to understand things, and that is not encouraged in Nigeria. I don't know about Uganda.
I think Nigerians, actually, you are so inquisitive than Uganda.
Okay, so when you're growing up as a kid, now as an adult, yes, you see, adult Nigerians being inquisitive, that is different. We're talking about kids growing up, and you ask a question. A lot of people tell you stories and say, "Shut up! You talk too much. Shut up!" That's what you break kids' spirits.
I think in Uganda we don't have that.
Okay, it's a very common thing that when kids are growing up and asking a lot of questions, parents will be complaining, or everybody else, "You like talking too much. Shut up, shut up."
Yeah, and you know when your kid is loud,
and when you take,
they'll be like, "Your kid has bad manners." He's always talking. My son, my elder son, is very loud that sometimes you're like, "Oh God." Then people will be like, "Oh, I don't know, this kid talks too much."
Why? What is he saying? Why is it too much? And that is how you kill the spirits.
Yeah.
So a kid is growing up, you're telling them they are interested in having conversations, in discussing things. And you tell them, "Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. You're talking to me, you're a bad child, you're rude." After a while, you kill that spirit.
Yeah, that's right.
Then those children slow down. Then you expect this person to grow up and become inquisitive again.
No.
So I'm saying that this is the thing I'm saying about privilege. That last week my friend was here and we were talking about privilege, and she said something that really resonated with me. She said, "No, when we talk about privilege, people always think it's money. In Africa, because we are so poor, everything is money, 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 money." It's true. Our value, it's money wrapped. There's nothing else.
Yeah, if you don't have money, you don't have.
Even the church we go to, it's money wrapped. Everything is money. That's why I ask you, like, which of them is aspiring to be a good person? No. The whole idea is get money, everybody will lick your ass.
True.
And when that is your mindset, you're not going to do better. Even if you know better.
So there are people that know better, but they're not doing better.
You know those people that you say, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that. You don't do that." You tell another person. But when it's you will then they say, "Oh, why are you not the one that said they shouldn't have done that?" It's not like that. You know what you shouldn't do.
You know.
Okay, let's use our Nigerian politicians. The way they behave in Nigeria, they know they cannot do it outside Nigeria. Those same people, I have been on a plane from Lagos, where at the airport everybody's trying to go through the whole process and board. A guy can push the airport. I'm like, "Why are you pushing? It's the same plane. It's not bus. It's not to Lagos. Stay in line, go through the process. You could just get the immigration 1,000 some extra money." He passed. I was like, "Oh my God, what is wrong?" Then we got in the same plane.
You're going to get in the same.
We got in the same plane. We landed in London. He was in line, prime and proper. "Hello."
Oh.
This is what I mean by they know. So people always, okay, let's use the UAE. UAE is the most
law-abiding.
No, UAE is the most peaceful, secure country in the world. Why? Do you think they brought all the good people here? Why? It's a very simple thing. They put laws and resources. You can't put laws without resources. Because once you put laws and there are no resources, people will break the law. So they put laws in place, they put resources in place because they expect people to break the laws. It's human nature.
Yeah.
When you say this is what I want to achieve, you don't just preach and not follow up. You need to plan for people that will break those laws. Then when they break the laws, you use them as example. So this country is very peaceful. This country is very safe because everybody knows that the chances of escaping is very small. And if you're caught, you will be punished.
So there's a law and a punishment.
Yeah, it goes together. Yeah. And security is tight everywhere.
And you cannot bribe anybody.
You can bribe. People will bribe you. You can bribe, but you cannot bribe the whole arm. You can bribe the police officer who is arresting you not to put in the system and you may go free. The policeman cannot put you in the system already and you go free. Because now it's a whole process.
So you have to.
So this is the thing. But meanwhile, in Nigeria, a case can already be in court. And that case will just be thrown out the door because everybody is bribable. And if when everybody knows that you've been bribed, there is no punishment for corruption. Instead, we don't call it corruption, we call it power. That guy get power, go solve your problem.
Power, but it's
so this is I always say. So when for a people, I say this: when you shout culture, and then I'm not an outsider. I'm from this country. I look around, I don't see kindness. I don't see good people. I don't see structure. I don't see anything working. So please, which culture are we holding on to? When they say, this is the question I keep asking.
So we go back to culture.
Yes. So when they tell you, anytime that word is used, please look, a woman is dancing, twerking. An African woman is twerking, they'll say, oh my God, we've lost our values. Because it's a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, if a white girl is doing that same thing,
it's okay.
All your African politicians will throw money on her.
But when you go back home and you twerk, they will say you're damaged goods.
Yeah, you're a bad woman. But they will go to America and marry strippers.
A lot of them.
They will go to America and marry strippers. When they are here look at Dubai, we are here now. I don't know our African men that are dating all these Russian girls and are spending money on them. These same men, if it's an African girl they are dating, they expect not to spend that money on you. And if you ask, oh, you're not a good African woman, you've lost your values.
Actually, I was
thinking, anytime value is being used for an African woman, culture is being, you look at it, it's always subjugation, to put you down, to give you less. That is the only time they fight for that culture, for you, against you, not for them. Yeah. It's always against you. So anytime they are using the culture, pay attention, pay more attention. Anytime they want to delay that.
And another thing is, every African girl, I feel like that, when you realize your worth.
Oh, you're a bad woman.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They start saying on social media,
no,
that girl got.
No, you're a bad woman because you have refused to buy into that narrative that you can only do this. You cannot do this. You cannot sit like this. You cannot cross your leg like this. You cannot wear clothes like this.
Because I've realized.
The minute you say, well, I'm going to do what I was saying about when you say, what are people living for? See, by the time you get to that adult stage where you say, all these things happen, if you're somebody who have conversations with yourself, and you say, you know what, I just realized everything I've been doing, it was conditioning of how I was raised, and now I'm hanging out with friends. I realize I like a lot of other things. I like the way like a girl told me, I like to dress. She has good figure. She said when she sees people dress, she want to dress, but because of her conditioning, she always feel like, oh, they are going to judge me. They're going to judge me. Then if that girl eventually gets to that point where she say, you know what, I'm going to wear what I like, what makes me feel good. Everybody that knew her before will say she has changed. She's not a bad woman. It will never be because, oh, this person has gotten to that place in their life where they are comfortable in who they are. No, that will not be the narrative.
They will not want to know that.
They don't want to know. They don't care. They want you to remain in that box.
If you have a bad relationship and you get to learn that actually this man is not valuing me, you start looking for yourself.
No, you stay there and pray. That's what makes you a good woman. You need to stay there and pray for him. Pray for God to touch him. That's
Do
what
they
makes
ever pray for women?
This is the question I've asked them. That did the Bible not say two shall come together and pray? If they accept, that's when the prayer will work. So somebody doesn't want to be with you. He's picking guests. I should be praying for him to stop picking what he's enjoying. What do you think God? What do you think God will answer that prayer?
And we've had stories of men coming back from all their stubbornness and infecting these women with diseases. These diseases, these women are on their knees praying for these men.
Because they are idiots. And let me be kind. Let me not say they are idiots. Because this is what... See, I'm going to tell you. You ask a question. When an African woman decides she wants to take care of herself and look at herself, people call you bad. And some people are scared of that bad. Some people are scared of that judgment. So they stay. So they stay in that place that they know they are not happy. They know it's not good for them. But they would rather stay there so that people will say they are good people than come out, because they know if they come out, people, see, the truth is, okay, this is the thing I'm going to say. Our culture doesn't care what happens to the woman. As long as you're being submissive and praying, don't raise your head and come and challenge anybody.
After all, you're a woman.
That's why I use the second class citizen tag for you. Nobody needs to come and tell you that you're a second class citizen for you to know.
You already know.
The whole process tells you
that you're second class citizen.
So, do you need someone to come and tell you you're second class before you say, where you go, honey? The whole process shows to you you are disposable.
Look at when the man dies, the woman is not in the picture.
So when Uti said, "Is the man and his children," people got upset. I said, you people should stop using anger as reaction all the time. When somebody says something, pause. Ask yourself, why is this thing making me angry? Why is this thing making me uncomfortable? If you can find the answer, it's a breakthrough. But we hate the truth.
What age do you think you realized?
No, I think for me, I was lucky. That is a privilege that I was saying. My friend was talking like, a lot of us were just lucky and privileged. I grew up in a house where my elder brother that I was talking about, my elder brother, it's like 18, 20 years older than me. He's a different father. Before his father died, then my mother met my dad. So I think I was about 8 years old and he was already like 25. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he graduated from the university while I was still in primary school. Right? Mm-hmm. And I spend a lot of times with him. He loves me and I'm always in his house. He would talk with me, have conversations with me. So he would tell my mother, no, let her talk. Oh, don't let anybody. Because my mother was also going with the same Africans. Oh, don't talk too much, you're a small girl, so they won't say you're a bad child. Because I ask a lot of questions.
That they won't say. That's the biggest problem.
The foundation is everything. It's hard. You know when they say it's easier to raise a proper boy than to fix a broken man. It's easy to raise a son than to fix a broken man.
Yeah.
It's the same for women.
Yeah.
It's the same for everybody. They cannot condition you one way. Then you become an adult and you need to start No, it's hard. So a lot of people just stay there. So you are thinking he's educated or she's educated. She should know better to do better. No, it's not easy because trying to do better will upset everybody around you.
I think the church has also contributed.
How can you say you think? The church is the biggest problem. You say you think. If it was up to me, all churches would be libraries.
Oh my God, stop. I'm a Christian.
What do you think I am? the Christianity, I don't know about Uganda, the Christianity, we had this conversation yet. See, I'm going to give you, I have some people I follow on social media, I want you to follow them. Yesterday, there's this man I follow, he said, he's in Turkey right now, he travels for business a lot.
He's Nigerian.
Yeah, and he said, he has traveled the world, he has gone to Christian nations, he has gone to Arab nations. The Christianity and Islam we practice in Nigeria, he doesn't know where it's from. I have been saying this for the past 15 years. The Christianity and Islam we practice in Nigeria. I don't know about you, I'm not going to speak for the rest of Africa.
Don't speak about Uganda.
The one we practice, our interpretation of Christianity and Islam in Nigeria, it's not the Jesus version. Neither is it the Muhammad version. No.
I just think, the biggest problem is still the they will say. Because when you go to a church, I grew up in a church.
Yeah.
Because my parents died when I was young, so I was raised by church-based people. So it was like, when you enter church, you forget about Jesus. You start following the leader of the church.
Yeah, but is that what Jesus said you should do?
No. But that's what is happening.
But that's why we say it's not Christianity you are doing. You're doing a hero worship. When they tell you culture for the African woman, it's for you to serve. If they annoy you, you will say, this thing you did to me, I don't like it. Then they will say, oh, sorry. Not for you to say, don't you try that again. Then you are not a good woman. Even if they are killing you, you're still supposed to say, please don't do that to me. That's what makes you a good woman. That means I don't have a voice. You should not be heard, you should be seen.
Oh, that's powerful.
That is culture.
It should be.
Seen, not heard.
Not heard.
Yeah.
That's what they call culture.
Yes, your opinion. Anytime I say about Nigeria, I'll ask you if it's the same in Uganda. When they have meetings in the village, traditional meetings, women are not allowed to sit in Nigeria. Uganda has it.
Well, these days they do.
No, we are talking about the culture. Because now
culture, no.
Okay, but this is
it's real traditional. Okay, I did not grow so much into that. Yeah. Where I come from now in Uganda, we have different places. The central is more cultural, but the western part where I come from, it's more liberal.
Okay, it's
not like women don't have.
But now you're talking about liberal. So if we go back to the actual culture, the woman is not supposed to have a say.
Yeah.
It's the liberated ones.
So the liberal comes out. Yeah.
So basically, the actual way to do it needs to be like that. But some people have managed to break away. So this is the thing. You at the culture. My mom is in her 70s. So imagine how they were raised then.
Oh.
You don't go to school. I hope you know that.
You don't even eat chicken for us.
Chicken fat. Oh, chicken fat.
Oh, for us, the woman used to eat.
When colonial masters came and introduced education, all my uncles and aunts, all my uncles are professors. All my aunties, none went to school. Because raising a woman is a waste of time. After all, her kitchen will end up. My mom cannot read and write. She has brothers who are professors and poets. That is how it was.
Yeah.
Then when people started raising their daughters, people today, you hear educated African man, educated, exposed, everything. You're like, God. Excuse me, you hear them say, don't marry that woman, she's too educated. An educated man will rather go to the village and marry a girl who did not finish secondary school or just finished secondary school. Why? Why do you think he does that? You think it's love? It's control.
Yeah.
Because they feel scared that I'm educated, she's educated, I cannot control her. And then it comes back to the conditioning that this person has not been able to let go. That condition, the way you were raised, he has refused, he cannot unlearn it. Because common sense should ask you, why do you want to control your partner? Somebody you're going to build a life with, somebody you want to be your backbone, somebody you're
going to live with the rest of your life.
Somebody that you hope that if anything happens, this is your first person that you should call. Why do you want to control that person? Should you not want somebody who is equally as strong as you, so that if there's a problem and you're done tomorrow,
you can solve it too?
No. Common sense. See, there's in my mother's dialect, there's something they say if you translate it to English. You know, a lot of things when you translate, it's lost in translation, but the closest thing is to say, a bad heart makes you senseless. That's common sense. I mean, if you're thinking common sense, this is what, even friends, when we make friends, you don't want a friend who has no sense, no nothing. Like, you see that you want to talk to a friend, like, why do you want to befriend that person?
Yeah.
So ask me why a man who is educated and everything will go and marry in this time. We're not talking about grandparents' time. Somebody who is educated, who makes money now, will wake up and say, no, all these educated kids, their own is too much. You will not go to the village and go and marry a girl that just finished secondary school. Help me ask, if he had common sense, will he do that? I don't see. It's different if you met that girl, you like her, you start asking her out and you find out that, she, maybe because of circumstances beyond her control, she didn't go to university. I've seen a lot of university graduates who are idiots. So it's not about the degree, right? It's not about the degree. It's about the fact that a man who is educated will consciously, deliberately go seek out somebody they feel is not as educated as them, because they believe that is the only way they can control them. That shows you have a problem, brother.
Does that have to do with you crossing culture in marriage?
No, it has to do with low self-esteem on the part of the man. Because the man has been conditioned that. I said this to my cousin the other 2 weeks ago. I said, don't fall into this trap. Try your best to unlearn it. You're a man. So you're my person. I'm going to tell you always. Remind you, we've been close since we were teenagers. I said, that trap that a lot of Nigerian men have put themselves in, they only feel worthy if they have money.
Do you think the ladies have made them feel like that?
In which society? The African society that is a patriarchy society that the woman doesn't have any power. How can it be the ladies?
Because they'll be like, sometimes they're like, it's only until you get money that a woman will see that you're valuable.
No, that is the story they told themselves. No, tell me, how many African men that have money can you date that will change your life? So which one is women will say if you don't have money?
Find them, they're very arrogant.
Oh.
Find them, they're very, they put money on the table. So see,
that narrative is to shield themselves. All the narrative, just sit back and start thinking of all the conditioning you got. When your man is stepping up, it's your fault. You're not praying enough. You're not doing it. They even convince you. They even convince you that it's the other woman's fault. She wants to snatch your man. So the man is standing here like this phone. No brain, no leg, no nothing. The woman just came and snatched him. These are the nonsense stories they told all of us growing up.
Yeah.
Then you get to that point and you start asking questions and say, but just the way I'm also a woman. I go at men like me. I tell them no, nobody is snatching me. So why are they always snatching him? This is the question I always say. Women, ask yourself.
Because in sometimes women, you feel like in the relationship, especially with African men, fellow men, you feel like you've done enough. But when you come out of the relationship, like my past relationship, and then you're like, the whole world will look at you and be like, this man is a good guy, but you were not able to turn him into a rich man.
Why should I? Is it am I Elon Musk?
They will be like, you didn't do your part well.
Oh, good.
Deep in you, you know you did your best.
But these are the things I tell you, connected. These are the things that make you second-class citizens.
Yeah.
You are judged by different standards, right? Okay, just try and imagine some of the nonsense they tell us. You are supposed to make the man what? Money?
Yeah. They say behind every successful man there's a wise woman.
Talk to. Not the man where they listen to them like this. No, but these are the things they don't tell them, eh? See, they excuse all their bad behaviors and put it on the women. The women accept it and sit there and cry.